Hey, welcome back guys. Today's video will focus on comparing decimals and then followed by ordering decimals from least to greatest. We're going to use a place value chart to compare both of these decimals. So I'm only going to include the ones because there's nothing greater than the ones. They're both 7. And then followed by that would be our tenths place, hundredths place, thousandths place. I like to use fraction, and I'll prove to you in a minute of why it's easier to use fraction, at least from my perspective. You can write out the words, either way it works. There's 1/10, 5/100, 1/10, 2/100, and 5/1000. So I recommend adding a 0, and then let's go ahead and begin. Now, they're both 7, so they're equivalent. They're both 1/110, so we're good. However, where you're going to see 2 is smaller or 5 is greater, so that means 7 and 15/100 is greater. So when I say fractions is easier, let me prove to you what I'm talking about. 15 out of 100, and this is 125 out of 1,000. I still have the 7. Now, if you wanted it to go ahead and use that 0, it's 115 out of 1,000, and that's greater than 125 out of 1,000. All right, let's do the next one. 4 and 9/10, and then 4 and 9/100,000. So the zeros on here really mess kids up from what I've seen. So you're left, you use the fractions, it's 4. And you want them both to have zeros. 4, 900. You'll notice they're both 4 and 900. Now that means they're both, sorry, that's a mess. 4 and 900 out of 1,000, and then 4 and 900 out of 1,000. If you were to find equivalent fractions, they'd both be 4 and 9/10. All right, let's go to the next one where we'll be ordering from least to greatest. So in this case, we definitely want the ones place value. Nothing's greater than 1, so I don't have to put tens or anything else. Followed by our tenths. Then we have hundredths, and last but not least, 1,000ths. So 4 is a lot, but bear with me. It's not as bad as it seems. And we're just using our place value. Here we can add our decimal so they can have the same amount of spaces used. I don't want to say they're equivalent because they're not equivalent. We're going to compare them. I have seen success with using one big place value chart. All the 7s, they're all in the ones place, so we're okay. But now we're looking at 7 and 19/100 or 7 and 190,000, and then 7 and 102. So the ones are equivalent, but the 0's less. So that means the smallest number is 7 and 102,000ths, followed by 7 and 19/100. Or if you wanted 7 and 190,000ths, that is okay. Those would be equivalent. Now we're going to compare the 2's, which those are equivalent, but the 3 and the 8, we can see that this 7 and 238,000ths would be less than 7 and 283,000ths. All right, for the last problem, I recommend pause the video, try to do it yourself, and then come back. All right, guys, so hopefully you had your chart. You have your 1 spot, your 10th spot filled out, hundredths, last but not least, thousandths. And then I'm going to include my decimal. So lucky we only have the one side. We're not using tens or hundreds or any of that. I figure if the goal is comparing decimals and not whole numbers, we didn't need anything bigger or greater. Oops. And I purposely use these numbers. They're all so close to each other because I feel like this is where kids would maybe miss a beat. All right, so all the in the one spot, they're all 6, so we're good. Now, the nice thing, there's only 1/10, and now the rest are 3 and 8, 8, so we're good. We know it's 683. We're done with that one. Scratch it out. Next, the 3 is smaller than the 8, so 318. Oops, I don't know why I wrote that. Probably because this is really late for me. Any of my students know I go to bed really early because I wake up early. All right, last but not least, if you're just looking, you got 8, 8, and then you have 3 hundreds, 300s, and then last, but 0 is less than 1. So we know that 83 hundredths would be less than 831 thousandths. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.